He's got somebody to lean on.
Coldplay. Don't Panic. That's the title of the song as well as what I was saying. In fact, I was just saying the title of the song, if I'm being honest, making it sound like it was Conversation, XFM 104.9. It's the Ricky Gervais Show with Steve Merchant.
Thanks.
You were going to tell us a little story about
just
a Volvo
passed my
estate.
test.
Yeah.
My parents had a big Volvo estate, and there's quite a big car to drive.
My parents didn't have a car.
But I know you don't drive cars, Rick, but it's quite a big car to drive if you just passed your test.
It's safe though, isn't it?
It is very safe, that was the thing.
Yeah.
And I come from the West Country, obviously. There's quite a lot of windy lanes.
No, you're joking, do you?
They have cars there.
Well, here he comes. Blimey, Carl.
Learned on a tractor, automatic it was.
Do you want me to tell it or not?
Oh! Don't go about the accent! Oh no, I'm not a Wurzel, go on. Go on.
So I went to this party.
You never got him being from the north.
Not when he's telling an anecdote.
He's never told an anecdote.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Yeah, go on.
So I went to a party, and I was quite excited because I had the car, I had the motor, and there was a chick heading down to the party that I was like, I had my eye on. And I thought, now I've got a car, and going to the party, it's going to be amazing, right? And various friends had said, like, can we get a lift? I thought, yeah, groovy.
Yeah,
I'll pick up the chick as well, who's a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
So cruising down to the party in the motor, the Volvo estate, and there's nothing sexier than that. Slipping a little bit of Billy Joel on the stereo or whatever. Something classic. Exactly. And maybe it was Billy Ocean. I was quite a Billy.
Maybe it was Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car.
Ideally.
Yeah.
So I get to the party, and inevitably it was one of those house parties where the chick that I had my eye on, she kind of was chatting to other guys, and she wasn't really paying attention to me, and I was sort of...
Trying hard to get, was she again?
Same old story.
Oh, they make me
They
laugh.
know how to tease, don't they, the ladies?
They laugh. Who are they kidding?
So I'd follow her like a dog, from room to room.
Yeah.
And watch her
Quite
while...
literally, sometimes he was barking.
Yeah.
Go on.
And while, just watch her while she talked to other blokes. And then, obviously because I was driving, I wasn't drinking, so I was not really enjoying myself. And then somebody said, should we go and pick up Vera? And I thought, right, okay, and they went, Steve's got a car, let's all leap in there, we'll go pick up Vera. And this girl was like up for it as well, so I thought, brilliant, I'll be back in the car with her, away from all these lads.
Yeah.
One guy she had her eye on, he came as well, I was a little bit annoyed.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was in the car, so I'm driving down these country lanes, just driving along, and they're directing me, they're saying, go left here, go right. And then suddenly, we stop, and one of them goes, just drive into that field, this pitch-black field, right? And I'm sort of, well, it is my parents' car. Just drive in the field, Steve. I'm thinking, well, I don't want to, like, not seem like I'm a hard, cool, crazy kind of guy, because the chick's in the car. So I drove the car into the field, they all leapt out, started running off into the darkness, shouting, Vera, 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 where are you? So I'm just sort of sat there in the car, waiting,
Wasn't Vera Lynn, was it? Because she likes to hide in fields.
Bizarrely, it wasn't.
Right.
It was just, I was just left in the car on my own with Billy Ocean, and suddenly, out of the darkness, they come back holding a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig that they had stole from a nearby farm, and they knew that the pig was called Vera because someone knew the farmer or something. Anyway, so they got this pig. So now they're going, "I'll put the pig in the back of the car. We'll take it back to the party. It'll be hilarious." I'm thinking, well, I'm not sure I want a pig and all its piggy crap in the car, right, crammed in there. But they say yes. So obviously, I'm thinking again, I don't want to look like I'm a nerd. I'm terrified of that, Rick, ever happened.
Yeah.
So,
So you go, hey, bring the pig into the car.
Exactly.
I'm no nerd.
Exactly.
Yeah, go on.
So now we drive off again. I got this pig kind of screeching in the back of the car, and they say, stop again, let's do some cow tipping. And they do that old thing, about the fact because cows sleep standing up, don't they? So you can push a cow over and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're having a wild time, hilarious. So this time, now we get to a sort of dead end in the road, and they say, well, turn around, let's go back to the party. And I'm thinking, fine. Try and do a 3-point turn in this very narrow country lane, right? Get the Volvo estate wedged horizontally across the road. Can't get it out, just can't seem to sort it out. I don't know what, I'm panicking because there's a pig in the car, right? And, local disgruntled farmers, right? People drunk, partying, probably off their head on some kind of weed, Rick.
Well, was it loads of blokes with, like, pitchforks and flaming torches
Exactly.
going, burn him. He's playing with our pig.
Exactly that. And so that, do you know, I was so terrified that all I could think was they're gonna have to send a helicopter to lower a magnet onto the top of the car to lift the car up and put it the right way round.
You used to read a lot of comics, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I started doing?
What?
Crying.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
So started crying, just very slightly, started getting upset, and the other guy that the girl fancied, he had to get into the driving seat and sort it out for me by slowly edging forward
So
and
that's the
backwards.
worst bit of the whole story.
Yeah, edging slowly back and forwards. He just sorted it out, just slowly worked the car back round, and then we were off.
You're just gently weeping.
Just gently
where
weeping in the back.
The bloke had just taken the bird that you saw from a distance.
Exactly.
That was basically your wife in your head by then.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it? I can't
We were
believe it.
happily married with a pig for a child.
Don't joke, that could happen.
I know.
The pigs come, if you like.
Sorry? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?
When you do what, Carl?
What? What did you say? No, what did you say? Because I don't want to have to go to the radio authority again. What did you say then? Just remember.
We are going out live, Carl.
Yeah, remember Tom Binns, right? What did you say?
What I'm saying is, why were they shouting Vera? Because pigs don't come to the name, do they?
Hey? I don't know the ins and outs of pig, you know, how to lure a pig into your trap.
Can I just tell you some very, very interesting things about pigs?
Please do.
Right. One, everyone knows they have a corkscrew-shaped penis, right?
A corkscrew-shaped
Yeah.
penis. That's the tail, isn't it?
Two, they can't look up. They can't put their head back and look up, right? Three, they can have a 30-minute orgasm.
Rick, is it only pigs that have got a corkscrew-shaped penis?
No, and landlords.
Okay.
Very handy. Forget about tomorrow. Feeder. Right. Listener, I'm talking to you now. Have you seen these posters around with me and Steve on it, right? It's embarrassing, right? We were mucking around at a photo session, and XFM wanted to do some posters. We couldn't be bothered to do them again, so we let them have this one. Irony comes back to haunt you, and it looks like I think I'm Simon Temple or something, and Steve's alright. But we think that Karl should be in it.
Definitely.
Karl doesn't want to be in it, but it looks like everyone listens to this show for Karl's, basically, you know, innocent stupidity and some great tracks.
Exactly.
They don't listen for us anymore, Steve. So I think it should be a campaign to get Karl on the poster.
Yeah. Well, I should point out that I think XFM are more than happy to have him on the poster.
So it's just him.
You don't want to be on there, do you?
There's no need for me to be on it.
Of course there is.
Why not?
I get so many emails here as I'm sat during the show reading them. So many emails saying, what does Karl look like? I
Well,
want
if
pictures of Karl.
you go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, we've got those film bits on there. Those video mock-ups where I'm part of it, you can sort of...
That's not
see it
enough,
online.
Carl. People want to see your face. You're part of the show.
Not
You're an
bothered.
intrinsic part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get you on the poster. Why?
It'll be too much on a poster. They can only take in so much.
What do you mean?
They can only take in so much.
Yeah, it's good with two people.
No.
It's enough.
So what do groups do then?
Well, they haven't...
It's like Ringo Starr is being left off the cover of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah. Or Rutherford doesn't get in a look in with Genesis.
Exactly.
Well,
You know.
Which would be outrageous.
Yeah. I'll say, sorry, Tony Banks, you can't be in this one.
Yeah.
It's just me and you will be very. You see, you look like the Collins, so
but
you've got to be
I
in there.
don't photograph that well either.
You're joking. Is it because you look like a little cue ball because it just shines off the
But
top?
a lot of people as well, you should dispel the myth. A lot of people think, for some reason, that you're fat. A lot of people say to me, is he fat?
No, but that's because I haven't got much hair, so it looks like my head's big.
No, they haven't even seen you. They just think, from listening to the show, that you're fat.
That's because you're northern. They think you just eat chips and
Yeah.
complain about the weather,
Well,
complain about the south.
I just think you could answer a lot of your critics.
but then you see what I don't like about this world. A lot of people judge people on the way they look.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you
hey.
do.
If only more people thought like that, Steve.
But Carl, you judge people on the way they look.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. But I couldn't with me, could I? Because I don't know what I look like.
What?
If I was listening to me on the radio, I wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, he's and slag me off and that," because I don't know what I look like, and I quite like that. Do you know what I mean?
I've lost.
I don't know what
Absolutely
you're talking about.
lost.
Just believe me, right? I'm right on this one. It's best if you leave it.
Well, we're not going to leave it. We're going to get you on the poster.
Yeah.
I mainly have to see myself on videotape this morning. That's put me
I
more
showed
off.
him. The animal show I did, the show.
Yes.
I'm doing a video, and I did behind the scenes footage, and I've got you've seen it, haven't you?
I feel a bit of Carl on there, isn't there? Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
It's lovely. He can't believe it. He said, "Is it playing slow?" 'Cause he's so slow. When I come into the office, he's going, "All right." That's how you
On my
talk.
head as well. I look like I'm looking into a spoon. I'm not happy with it.
I just think that if we're willing if Ricky's willing to use his celebrity profile for the sake of the show, I'm willing to look like a, let's say a fairly handsome, kind of cool customer. I think the very least, Carl, is that you appear on there as well. You could dress up smart.
Are you worried that you'll look the worst out of all three of us?
Who am I standing next to? Am I next to Steve? I'm fairly confident.
Yeah.
I like the way it's so predictable. You pull the string because you know what it is. It's not...
You pull the string?
Oh yeah, the smooth indie sound of Richard Ashcroft. The Science of Silence on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, joined me is Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
It was an excellent link, that, Rick. Did you say Nime at one point? 104.9? Did I? Other than that, it was textbook.
Yeah, a desperate attempt at being articulate.
Sure.
But let myself down.
With your
See, this is the good thing about the boxing thing, because, there's no chance of me, slurring the words. No, I already slurred my words.
Yeah,
so no one, any damage will be totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
the doctor's rushing in. I think there might be some kind of concussion. Jane just going, no, that's just the way he talks to me. But because I'm thinking maybe, did you start the show with that particular kind of manner, just because obviously a lot of new listeners, I imagine, thanks to the massive poster campaign, and you obviously want to impress them and charm them.
There's a few examples today of irony coming back and biting you.
Yeah.
That seemed like a funny idea at the time, me posing that up, but Jonathan Ross phoned me up when they first went up and he just said, I've just seen a big poster of a predatory gay.
Yeah, you do look a little bit,
Hello, what's your name? Why would you like to sit down here? And then you're in the background. And also, I think the funny thing about having you as a partner, I mean, the only good thing is that you look weird and tall, like too freakishly tall and lanky.
Oh, yeah,
but in that one, no, because your background and you're smiling, you don't look as weird as you do in real life, or as freakishly tall. So it sort of ruins it a little bit for me. Look at Pilkington. Look.
Pilkington, what are you doing?
He's not listening. He's just opening a packet. What are they? McVitie's. See, we should mention them. We get some free ones if anyone at McVitie's are listening, because we're not getting the perks of this.
Nothing. I'd say I'm not getting anything. I really got in this game for the ladies, for the money, for the voiceover work. Certainly, I'm seeing hide and hair of that.
But you're not getting the voiceover work because Jethro's getting all those parts that you might get.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, Rick. Yeah. You were the voice of what? The drink driving campaign? You sound like a man who was run over in a drink drive accident.
Oh,
dear. It's like you don't drive.
I didn't get any money for that, did I?
Or did I?
I can't remember.
It's like, I mean,
I don't drive, well, that's good, I don't drive. No, it said don't drink and drive, so I've chosen just to drink.
But at least I can formulate sentences using the English language, and I'm not getting the voiceover work.
The English language of the 14th century.
Well, it's better English language and English language. Rather than whatever kind of Middle England language you speak, the language of the hobbits.
Alright, Carl.
Alright.
See, you're eating a biscuit. I can't believe it. Are you bored with this already? Do you know what? MTV called me last week. They called me again yesterday and said, when can they come down to do they're coming down next Saturday, by the way, to do a little screen test for you. They're gonna sort of just film you with a little camcorder. You said this. They're gonna film you. Are you alright? Do you want to, are you hungry? Do you want to go out and have a meal? I can't believe you're eating while I'm on air.
No one can hear that.
Do you know who I am?
No one can hear
Explain who I am.
Well, that's Ricky Gervais, right? He's made his name on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, he's done any number of corporate gigs, and they pay silly money. So, I mean, this guy's earning, and really, earning beyond his talent. Alright? So,
I think I deserve a little bit more than a little mank eating a biscuit while I'm talking.
Rick Gervais?
Yeah.
Have you won a BAFTA?
Yeah, too.
Alright, so, just a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl,
well,
what have you won? What have you won?
I got a bronze certificate for doing a full week at school.
That's great.
It was only a bronze.
What's that then? 3 out of 5 days.
And I got me a little Crusaders badge, if you remember.
What's the little Crusaders badge?
The Crusaders badge for the religious club. So
I was at the fellow that you went and played. You had to go ping pong ball. So they wanted to talk to you about God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a Crusaders badge, did you?
Yeah, that's why I went. That's why I joined. That's why I joined.
For the badge.
I like the little badge. Did 4 weeks and then packed it in. But we're talking about MTV, right? And I was feeling a bit nervous, wasn't I? About like, the way I look.
Right.
And what have you. And then I watched a bit of Celebrity Big Brother and all the fuss that Mark Owen's getting, and he's not that good looking, is he?
He's very. I want to be Mark Owen's mate. If anyone who knows Mark Owen or Mark Owen's listening, I want to be his mate.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant.
I think he's a nice lad. But what I'm saying is, right, all the girls go mad over him.
Yeah.
And he's not that good looking, is he?
Well, he's got to. It is in a certain way, isn't he? That sort of non-threatening.
Yeah, but he's not stunning, is he? Do you know what I mean?
No, but no.
Well, what's your definition of a stunning?
Yeah.
Well,
who do you like?
Someone who you look at and you go, God, they're good
Which
looking.
bloke do you fancy?
What bloke do you think's attractive then?
So if I was into men,
Yeah.
in fact, you can still say a bloke's a good looker without fancying him.
Who do you think is attractive?
Probably. I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
No, just look. Just look. You think
there's different looks as well.
Of course, yeah.
isn't there?
Who do you say was attractive? Who do you say was like stunning in your definition?
A good-looking lad.
Yeah.
Good-looking lad. Oh, look at him over there. He's.
Do you find, Robbie Williams, do you find him attractive?
Boy next door, look.
No, who do you... Carl, hurry up, because it's, we've only got 2 hours.
Probably... do you know, I can't think of one offhand. Mark Owen is pretty good looking then, really.
Well, there's not... Just name one bloke that you think's an attractive guy. There must be one bloke that you've either met or that you've, seen in a pub
Who do you think
or on a
is
poster.
attractive?
Tell you what.
Go on.
Tell you what. Works here. Young Alex Zane.
Alex! Well, we know Alex, then we can fix you like that. Oh, I love you, Alex! You've got so One prediction for the future, Carl, is from an academic study, what the world will be like in about 75 years from now. And a big prediction they're sort of sure of is that androgyny will rule. There'll be so little difference between men and women, apart from the biology, economically, socially. It won't matter who the biggest breadwinner is, that's already being phased out. If you're in a traditional heterosexual male-female couple, it'll be who stays home, who earns the most or whatever. It won't be governed by gender. And that's getting less and less anyway, as it is now. But soon you won't even need a female or a man in your life. You'll just need the egg or sperm. And you'll be able to have any coupling you want or not. Thoughts, Carl?
That isn't what I've heard.
What were you heard?
I heard that.
So you read an academic study, Rick, but let's find out what Carl's been reading.
I heard we're all going to go ugly.
Different point, though, isn't it? That's a
Completely
different point.
that. Not listening to a word Ricky said. But
No, it's just if we all sort of go ugly, that will sort the population
He
problem
gets an
out.
extra syllable in the word ugly. 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 Ugly.
Yeah, so that just sorts the population out because people aren't sort of having it away left, right and centre.
Well, no, then that doesn't sort of... What do you mean?
Sorry, Rick, I don't understand what the hell he said there.
Are you saying, because everyone's ugly, everyone won't want to have it away more with the ugly person?
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't... You seem to understand what he's talking about, Rick. I'm still confused.
But what he thinks is that if we're all ugly, then we still have this strange paradigm of beauty that won't exist, so we won't fancy anyone as much.
No, they'll still sort of fancy, because at the end of the day we're animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we'll still have it away, but not as much as they'd like to do now, because it's all based on looks.
Sorry, but what's this got to do with what
What's this
Ricky
world
said?
like? Describe a typical town or country.
It's exactly right. Imagine London, you've still got the gherkin, you've still got the big wheel. It's just everyone's ugly.
Right, and they're doing all the same jobs, are they?
Everyone's still, the world's got to carry on.
What do they look like? What's ugly?
Just imagine, like, have you ever seen anyone when you've just gone, look at that?
Yeah.
Right, well, like that.
Yeah, but hold on. It's ugly by today's standards, is it? So I throw forward to 75 years, you'll go, oh, everyone's what we call ugly. But what's happened to society? What do they think of everyone? They won't suddenly go in, isn't it annoying? We've got uglier. Because it's not like
because
a strict...
we have got better looking, haven't we? If I look back now at a school photo,
Yeah.
you look at my class and you go, what was going on then? Well, you can't tell the difference between some of the girls and the blokes.
No, but that's not true. Because
it is, honestly. You
that's
look at
fashion
it and you
and
see
nutrition. And I see that, when I see an old episode of Bullseye, I think, Jesus, the men look like rakes with no teeth and a moustache, and they're bald with their hair down like a paedophile, and he goes, now how old are you? And I go, 52, 50, he goes, I'm 22. He's like, what?
Yeah, but that's more because of the sort of people that used to go on Bullseye. I mean, you know, Paul Newman was never going to pop on Bullseye.
No, exactly.
You know, because he was actually a plumber from, Essex.
And then think of the people that he grew up with, some of them live in holes now.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the class of Pilkey 1982 doesn't really count. When he said, we've got better looking, I thought he was going to talk about cavemen, not his school photo. I mean, what happened there? There's been no evolution in that time. What are you talking about, Carl?
We've got better looking now, haven't we?
I wonder if he's confused it with the paradigms of beauty have changed, haven't they? So in the 50s, Marilyn Monroe was considered, very desirable, whereas that body shape on women, more recently has become less, lots of skinny women are seen as a paradigm of beauty. But, so that has maybe changed.
But we will change.
Yeah,
probably
we'll change.
75 years.
I mentioned before about, your little finger. There'll come a time when that'll go. I've watched it. I've kept an eye on what my little finger's doing. Sometimes it does nothing. It never helps out. All the others are grabbing older stuff. That one just sort of sits there watching. So you could get rid of that, and I think that will go in evolution.
Think of the books he could have read when he was doing that, when he was monitoring his little finger.
Okay, now, just moving quickly on, just the last item on Carl's re-education this week. Rasputin, you've read a little book about Rasputin?
What did you know about Rasputin before you read the book, Carl?
Can I just tell you, when I handed him this book, that was my house, he went, is he the one that lived under the bridge? And I went, what do you mean? He went, the fella lived under the bridge, and you had to pass him and Jane went, you're thinking of Rapunzel. And he went, yeah, and I went, well, that's not Rapunzel either. Rapunzel's, you had to say, isn't that, you had to guess his
The person
name.
who lived under the bridge was a troll in the three little brick graph.
I'm a troll, foldy well. So, to answer your question, Steve, that's what he knew about Rasputin. Okay?
So have you read this whole book? Can I just have a look at it, Rick?
This whole book, it's about the size of a beer mat.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, but did you read the whole thing?
No.
You didn't manage to read the whole
even
thing?
do that?
Well, again, some of the names in there are so long and foreign sounding that I just thought, I can't remember all these. So I just got to the meat of the story.
Go on,
what did you learn about Rasputin?
Right, he was a monk.
Yep.
And, mad? Was he a madman?
Hang on a minute.
Don't confuse him.
Sorry.
Right.
Go on.
God. You see, this is what happened in the exams. Right, he was...
Oh, don't do that when I'm drinking, Carl, please, mate.
He loved his women. That's how the story started off. He had really nice...
story started off? Yeah.
He had really nice eyes, and that's what everyone fell for, especially the women.
Yeah.
Anyway, the people back then thought he had special powers because he could hypnotise people or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about a little lad who had some sort of blood clot on his leg. And he said, just calm down and you'll be alright. And people thought he had special powers, but what he was doing, he was saying calm down and he relaxed, and it stopped the blood flowing sort of as fast. And that's how he got better. But anyway, that's the only bit of special work that he did. And then he kept going on, and he was going in brothels and all that. And the people in the town thought, this isn't right, he shouldn't be going about doing this. And
where did he live?
Russia.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
What sort of era?
I thought you'd like now,
About 1800.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
And then...
Do you want to check that, Steve? You got the book?
People got sick of him. People got sick of him, and they said, oh, we'll have to get rid of him. So they tried to... He loved cakes as well as women.
Okay.
So they said, let's poison a cake. And they poisoned a load of
Easier than poisoning a woman, wouldn't it?
And he ate these cakes, and it just didn't kill him, and they were like, God, what's going on? And they kept giving him more and more cakes, and...
He was suspicious.
And that didn't work, so the fella said, that's it, I'm going to shoot him. So...
Well, I imagine it was the end of his tether.
So...
I mean, he was back and forth to Mr. Kipling's,
He shot him once, and that didn't work, and the fella thought, oh my God, and he started running away, and Rasputin's running after him, and he shoots him like another. I think he took 4
Face
bullets.
full of Battenberg.
Four bullets.
Who's going to swear then?
4 bullets it took to kill him, and then this fella who was after him chucked him in an icy lake, and that was the end of him. But I don't understand, sort of.
What don't you understand, Carl?
Well, the fact that, you know, he's a bit of a name in history, and I don't understand why, because it just sounds a bit like my brother.
Does he love women and cakes? And do you think that'll be his downfall?
Right, I want you to study it. Right, if you want to do, that's the first introduction. Right, if you want to do some extracurricular,
What would that get me?
There's a song by Boney M that lays it out.
Suzanne told me about that, saying about Russia's Greatest Love Machine.
Yeah,
but it didn't say anything about cakes.
No.
I think if you get the 12-inch mix,
no, but they say, according to Boney M, and I don't know who's correct, the bloke wrote that or M, they put some poison into his wine. Now I don't know if M have done their research or whether, they did shoot him until he was dead. According to them, he was the greatest love machine in Russia. I don't think it says that in the book, but M might know more than that fella.
So what's your final verdict on Rasputin?
Just a normal bloke who didn't have that much luck, really. That's what I don't understand. I was waiting for something special at the end, but just a normal fellow, really.
Yeah, just an everyday. Happens all the time, doesn't it?
Just an everyday mad monk.
Yeah, just an everyday mad monk. You have to shoot and poison and throw in icy lakes to kill him, and who loves women and cakes. I mean, come on, do we need another one of them?
Boring.
So what would you say about him then? How would you sum him up?
I think you've done it.
I think you've done it.
There you go.
So next week, Che Guevara, you going to read the book?
I don't know.
Come on.
Next week, Che Guevara. Take it home. There he is.
Give it here then. Nice one.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, you little brown-headed.
Right, years ago, people only drank water, didn't they?
How long ago are we talking?
Going back a bit,
Okay.
and it was just the norm. Everybody was happy with that. It was kind of like, you know, what, you're thirsty, have some water. It was just what you did. And it was more of...
Well, no, not only water.
No, it was. It was kind of like...
they drank milk at birth, didn't they?
Yeah, as a baby. But then you don't have that when you're older. What I mean is more now, as we've discussed, is more of everything. So
I thought there was fruit juices in...
Yeah, but what
stuff.
I mean, when people were thirsty, it was like, well, have water. They didn't go, oh, what do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'm just saying they had it for a purpose as opposed to something for the taste buds. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so this town, right? It was in the middle of nowhere somewhere.
It's the detail that makes the story, isn't it? The pinpoint accuracy of detail. So it was a while ago, and it was in a town somewhere. Brilliant.
In the middle of nowhere.
And what used to happen is barrels used to appear, right? These sort of, do you know, like how they have wooden barrels that beer and that comes in?
Right.
One of those used to just be in this village, and everyone who lived there was used to this sort of drink that used to crop up, right? Well, because they were used to it, they didn't question it. It was kind of like, yeah, it's what happens if you live here.
Sorry, so I don't understand. So what's in the barrel? It's a barrel in the town square.
Well, it's this drink.
And so it's not water?
It's not water.
It's a mysterious other drink.
Well, I'll tell you now, it's like a fruit drink.
Okay.
And back then, I mean, I speak to my mum, and she didn't have a banana till she met me dad, and they were made up of fruit.
Sorry, is that some euphemism?
I don't know what that means.
No, but what I mean is...
he came a-calling with a banana? No. With a bunch of bananas and some flowers?
No, but what I'm saying is, it was like a fruit drink, and for years and years, people didn't drink fruit. It was an eating thing. Do you know what I mean? It was an eating thing.
It was eaten?
Yeah,
what,
it was you're thirsty, have some water. What, you're hungry, have a banana, have an orange.
Sure, but the idea of combining the two, crazy.
They never used them in that way. So anyway.
So a mysterious fruit-based drink is turning up mysteriously in this town for years. No one questions it. No one thinks.
Yeah, just because in that area, I'm sure, like
Here come the little man.
No, but in the same way that in Scotland they'll have fried Mars bars and that.
Yeah.
They don't bat an eyelid at that. Yet when we go there,
they didn't appear mysteriously.
They didn't just appear one day.
I assume they go to the newsagents and take it home and pop it in some batter.
But what I'm saying is they don't think anything's odd about that. But as time goes on, people have started travelling more, haven't they?
Ooh.
And
you have
visitors sort of came in to the town. And they were saying, "Oh, I'm a bit thirsty. Have you got any water?" And they were like, "I don't have water. Have some of that in that barrel." And they were like, "What's that?" And they were like, "Oh, it's a drink." So they had it, and it was really like refreshing. They were like, "What is this?" And they said, "Don't really know. It just crops up."
Of course they did.
No.
It's what. It's what you get if you live here. It's part of living here.
Right.
So they were like, "Brilliant. Do you sell this?" And no, they don't just sell it. We don't even know where it comes from. Just have some whilst you're here.
Don't even know where it comes from.
No.
So the thing is, this helped the town out.
That's before the monkey appears. This shit.
Yeah.
So all these people are enjoying the drink. Word gets out, and it went on for a couple of years. But they say it travels fast, doesn't it? If it's good news, it travels. If it's good news or bad news, it travels fast.
Yeah.
So news travels fast.
Yeah, just news. Yeah, news does. So anyway, so some
Fucking monkey news doesn't. This has taken half an hour.
So some big business fella who was on holiday in
any specifics?
He was from Chicago.
Right.
Oh,
and he flew
How tall was he?
Hold on though. So this is after Chicago was founded.
Yeah, Chicago was knocking about.
Oh, they had loads of drinks then.
Yeah,
they had
alcoholic.
coffee, tea,
alcohol.
they had every drink under the sun.
Yeah, but not like
every drink under the sun.
Not like
apple juice, grape juice, ciders, wines.
So he came in.
Oh, Chicago was founded.
He came in.
Yeah, probably 19th century. Oh, there's loads of shit about.
And he was saying, "This drink you've got here," he said, "it's good stuff, you know." He said, "Whose is it?" And they said, "Well, it just appears and what have you." And he said, "Well, that's a bit odd." So anyway, he got a bit annoyed with it because he wanted to take it back with him to Chicago. He knew there was an audience for this.
Well, yeah, because they got bored of tea, coffee, all the other drinks
and that. Yeah.
So he waited at night.
They've been around for years.
Waited behind a truck.
A truck. Oh, so
we're in the motorised age.
Oh, so at least 1890 something. I thought.
And he saw this little fella bring the barrel out.
How little was the fella?
It's hard to tell in the dark, and they were quite far away. And the barrels, you know, it's hard to work out.
He was short. His arms were long.
So they followed him in, right, and saw what was going on.
Okay.
Like how it was being made. And they said, "You know what, we can have a go at making this ourselves." And what happened in the end, they tried to imitate it in Chicago. There was a orangey tang, right?
It was made by an orangutan, wasn't it?
And do you know grapefruit juice? They had like ape fruit juice that they were good at crushing the fruit with the feet and what have you. And that's how them two.
So it was great ape fruit drink.
Yeah.
Which probably got abbreviated over time.
Ape fruit juice.
No, it was great ape fruit drink. It was because it tasted great.
That is a load of shit, Carl.
Because of course I told you before, haven't I, when I was doing a school play, and there was a girl, and I was trying to crack onto her, but I was going through my sort of, you know, fifth form phase of sort of reading Catherine the Rye and all the rest of it, rebelling against the system, and I thought, well, she's gonna find me appealing if she realises how smart I am. So
Can I just ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Is this before or after the phase when you thought a bow tie would sort you out?
This was before the bow tie phase. Yeah. There was a phase, I should say, for new listeners, where I, for about 6 months, wore a bow tie because I thought it made me look sort of like I was from a Jeeves and Wooster book. And I thought that was very urbane and sophisticated. But, yeah, we're doing the school play, and there was one point where everyone was hanging out in one of the rooms, music rooms, getting changed, joking, laughing, cracking onto each other, right? I was sat in the room next door, empty room, on my own, right, reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, the sort of kind of, you know, populist philosophy book from the 70s, just sat reading that in the hope that she would walk in the room, see me, think, my God, he's obviously wise, and presumably, you know, get off with me. Must have sat there for about an hour and a half before anyone came in. And she came in eventually, and I thought, ding dong, this is it. She came in and said, "Have you seen Martin Wells?" I said, "I think he might be next door." She disappeared again. I gave another 15 minutes on the hope that she'd come back. She didn't. I went in the next room. She was getting off with Martin Wells.
Oh no!
Because he'd been dancing around with no trousers on. So all I'll say is, there's a valuable lesson learned. I think this was the same girl. I was at a party once, and I was with this girl. I was trying to impress her, and someone lit some joss sticks. just gonna give it a kind of hippie vibe, right? And I didn't know what joss sticks were. I thought they were some kind of drug, like cannabis. So these joss sticks are like, and I started going, because I thought we were all supposed to be getting high on these joss sticks. I started going, whoa. Oh man, these joss sticks they're really doing me in, man. And everyone said, what do you mean? I went, oh, they're good stuff. This is good shit. And they said, what do you mean, joss sticks? They're not drugs, they're some incense. And I went, yeah, I know, I'm just saying they smell great, is what I'm saying.
Meanwhile, Martin Wells on the table, trousers down, everyone just throwing in money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I don't know if there was another party where I don't think it was the same girl, but there's inevitably a girl there that I'm trying to, impress. And I went up to, it was a house party in someone's house. I didn't know anyone there really. I was only
Steve, you've come without trousers. Well, it worked for bloody Martin Wells.
And I went up to the toilet, and I had to do, number 2s.
Brilliant.
And I did them. There was no toilet paper. At the party. And I was like, I was scrabbling around in this bathroom thinking, what can I use? There was nothing. And I was thinking, oh God, what can I do? And, as I recall in the end, I couldn't make anyone hear. I didn't want to sort of go out into the hall and stuff. So I had to shout out the window into the garden where everyone was.
No!
Yeah. And someone had to come and bring me some. And, once again, it didn't... Well, I wish I'd fucking had Zen in the Iron Book techniques, then I could have ripped some fucking pages out and wiped my arse.
Trying to stop suddenly in Italy. TB. Turing brakes. It's like a rockbuster, Carl.
Remember the good old days?
I know, yeah. Painkiller. On XFM 104.9. But look, Rockbusters is gone. Forget Rockbusters. Long live Songs of Phrase. Over to you, Carl.
Alright, well...
Rockbusters was one of the things they were protesting about last time. that was why I just had to listen to them. They just kept stopping me in the street as I was trying to get to the tube. You've got to stop Rockbusters, it's run out of steam, they said, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's why they always do it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They make their way to Leicester Square for 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Right.
Songs of Phrase. What it is...
Songs of Phrase.
We took a phrase from the show last week. It was, there's this airy Chinese kid, right?
Yeah.
Today, we're going back to the good old line of, about you never see an old man eating a Twix.
Sure.
Right?
How long is that?
No, you'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
You'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
It's not as many as you think, though. It's not that many.
Well, how is it not that many?
Right, well, first of all, anyway, don't worry about that. I think it's about 5, I think. Hang on a minute.
Oh, God. Why do we leave him alone to do this,
I don't understand.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll tell you what, we were flying them.
6 different songs.
6 different songs!
That's a lot to get, Carl.
But what happened is, I couldn't find a song with Twix, so we've changed the chocolate.
Oh, this is rubbish. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. No, you've got to be punished. We're not doing this. Do it next week.
You'll like it.
No, shut up, Carl. No, no,
He's
put
a lot of effort in.
So what?
You're right.
He's got to do it right. He's got to do it right.
No.
There's too many. We said too many. He's changed the thing. It's not a one-off. It's ridiculous.
No,
it's absolutely pointless.
Rick, if only his parents had spoken like that to him sometimes in the past,
Do you know
maybe
what I mean?
we wouldn't
Right.
have this discussion
You're not
now.
doing it.
Come on.
No! We're not doing it. Steve, what do you think?
I'll tell you, we've got the prizes, but
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother giving... I'm not even going to bother. I think we'll just share them out amongst, homeless.
Absolutely. No. There's troubles in the world, and I'm not going to let you faff around doing nonsense like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's do it for
No,
this
let's
week.
play a beautiful song. What do you think?
I'd love to hear a great song.
Yeah, the times, they are changing, we've said that. Look at
Rick, I'm
Mother
beginning to wonder
Nature
if it's
on the run. Look at Mother Nature on the run, Steve.
Yeah.
Play it.
So we're not doing...
No.
It's your own fault.
Neil Young.
Beautiful.
After the Gold Rush, one of the most beautiful, poignant songs ever, I
Great
think.
lyrics in that. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. Forget the 1970s, Rick. I'm beginning to wonder if that's just as truthful nowadays in the year
I've told you
2003.
before, you've got no idea, you don't know anything about the world or politics, so
I don't know why you persist.
I don't know why I keep saying it myself, Rick. I'm a political incompetent. I don't know why I keep spouting on with this drivel.
Right.
It's The Guardian, I think, that's doing it to me. It's all second-hand information. I just read it in there, and I just
So it
think
was a good idea to
I
get
keep
on
thinking,
the,
exactly. I keep
get on
thinking
the
I can pass it
bandwagon.
on.
You don't really care, do you, about anything in the world, really, as long as it affects you?
I haven't exactly.
Yeah.
Unless I'm
No.
personally affected by these
Yeah.
things, I don't care less.
Well, I'm the same. Now, Carl, the big question, as we know at the moment, is whether we're going to let you do songs of phrase or not.
Rick, I should tell you now,
mad.
there has been a flood of... Oh, no, there hasn't. Sorry, I was thinking there'd been a flood of emails, but it was people agreeing with you, Rick.
I know Tony Blair has been trying to get through.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just checking the emails now. There's absolutely nothing supporting you,
So
Carl.
no one gives a side either way about
No, well,
that,
that's not
then?
fair. There were a couple of phone calls, weren't there? One was a guy saying you should. I think the other one was you, Carl. Was it phoning from the kitchen?
Can we do it? Can we do it? Right.
No.
If you don't like it, we won't do it next week. But the fact that I've made it.
I don't know why you did that. We thought of lots of stuff that you could do. You chose one where you have to have 10 words and 6 songs to choose. You haven't got Twix. I don't know what you've substituted Twix for.
Okay, I mean, I've got to say now, I'm going to sit on the fence, so I'm quite intrigued.
Okay, right. What
hear it.
have you substituted Twix for?
Well, I can't tell you.
Because you can.
No, I can't because people have to listen to it and work out.
All right, let's just hear it. Let's hear it then.
No. They know what they have to know what the word is. They have to tell what the song is or the
I
artist.
prefer just to play it.
No, you've got to tell them what it is because they might not even know what word they're
I think
looking
you should
for.
let's hear him out, Rick.
Right.
Please,
Right.
democracy. That's what we're fighting for. Come on.
Right, if you turn them up.
Right, okay, I'll put the headphones on. Go on then.
Okay, so right, hang on. The phrase originally was
You never see an old man eating a Twix.
right, and we're trying to identify a number of songs which you've used to make up that phrase.
And you email in xfm.co.uk/Ricky with as many as you can get, and whoever gets the most right.
It's so complicated. This is
It's
so
not.
complicated.
Right, here we go.
I'm baffled by the email address. I couldn't
What
figure
was
that
the
out.
email address again?
xfm.co.uk/Ricky.
Right.
Right?
And there's some link on there, is there? That
Yeah, that you just press and it comes through. Or
Brilliant.
that. Right, here we go then, right?
I missed a little bit at the end. Let's hear it again.
Mars, ba ba ba.
Let's hear it again. Oh no.
Oh God. Okay, right, we'd say the prizes, Steve.
Right, so how many songs were there? Do we know?
I think it was 6.
You think there was 6?
And you'll never see an old man eat. It might be 5.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
Anyway, why not email in the answers and how many there were, and you might be in with a chance of winning on DVD the original series of Citizen Smith with Robert Lindsay. That was good. Paul Whitehouse's Happiness, the first series of that on DVD. We've also got a couple of CDs here. The Best of Britpop, Live Forever, Oasis, Blur, Radiohead, and all the rest of them on there.
right.
Supergrass's current album as well.
That's all
I
right.
think it's the current album. Yeah, it is. And
Okay.
less convinced by this one. If I tell you that some of the artists include Delamitri and Deacon Blue, then I know you'll be rushing out later, Rick, to buy this. Scotland Rocks. A compilation of...
Is Wet on there?
let's see.
What
the
about
Wets-
Biss? What happened to Biss?
Let me see, I'm not gonna... I tell you, it doesn't... I mean, we've got Gun on there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got
baby, lately.
Aztec Camera.
Yeah.
Big Country, obviously.
Proclaimer's not on there.
Wait a minute, where's Runrick? There they are. There they are. And obviously Rafferty, Baker Street. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Brilliant.
So that's definitely worth entering for, surely.
So xfm.co.uk/Ricky. Play it one more time.
Yeah.
Just right.
Class. Pure class. Well done. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Play
we'll give it
record.
to you.
Brilliant. Right, now listen, so that's that done.
Yeah.
We've done that as well.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. We've got
Okay.
like 5 minutes left. Winner for Songs of Phrase.
Alright, give us the answers.
Right. we did this at the start. We haven't even got time for the film thing today.
Oh.
But we'll do that next week. Song's a phrase. It was a phrase. You never see an old man eating a Twix.
I love the fact that we haven't got time. Like, we've had such important stuff, and it's been so jam-packed and interesting. Not that it's been drivel with gaps we could have filled much better.
Yeah.
Don't look at it like that, like,
What, with his film quiz? Come on.
Oh, dear.
So, song's a phrase. You never see an old man eating a Twix. We had to change it to Mars Bar. Here's what we had. Jerry and the Pacemakers. Echo and the Bunnymen.
David Bowie.
And the Beach Boys finished it.
Oh, what do you mean? I thought that one was. What do you mean? Who's the winner? Oh, it doesn't matter. You've got to give the answer. Who was that one you didn't know it was us?
It was Neil Young, wasn't it?
Jim Crochet, is it? Old Man River, it's called. Jim Crochet. Something.
Old Man River?
Yeah.
Jim Crochet sang Old Man River? I don't think so. What was it?
Who cares?
Right.
Well, people... I can't believe this.
Old Man River, it was.
Let's give the prize to...
Jim Crochet wouldn't have sung Old Man River.
Well, let's give the...
That's Paul Robeson.
Let's give the prize to Mitchell Sterling, who has got some of the answers right.
On XFM 104.9.
We'll be playing that great quiz again next week.
Next week. Ricky Gervais with it on XFM's 4s. And if you want to send an email, it's rickygervais.co.uk, or check out the website on XFM's All the Comms. Good night, thank you for 3:30. Coming up is Narrow Levine and Stoopy Nouns. Oh, educating Ricky's getting smarter.
A couple of things happened in the week that I read about.
Okay.
Keeping up on what's going on in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One was about that Galileo fella.
Okay.
Was it about 1636? Was it?
I think it might have been earlier.
bad.
Go on.
Did some stuff with light and that.
Yeah, it did lots of physical experiments, yeah.
Is that it then, Carl, is it? He did some stuff with light and that.
Well, what did he do with light? What was that?
Well, I think he invented the first...
Telescope.
Telescope. So I think it's a particular lens there, and he did experiments where he dropped famously two different weighted balls from Pisa, and they hit the ground at the same time, showing that doesn't matter, the weight doesn't matter, but air resistance does, and stuff like that.
I think he probably explained it a bit better than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Carl.
Sure. Did they need to know
He's
stuff?
just thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Did they need to know stuff like that back then?
What do you mean, did they need to know stuff like that? It's just...
There weren't people going around going, I've got to drop these two things off the Leaning Tower of Pizza, I just don't know which one's going to land first.
Yeah, I need to know. Why do you need to
Bring
know
me
that?
Galileo.
Yeah.
It's for a bet.
Yeah.
No, but if I was knocking about there, I'd be like, stop messing with that. We need a telly. Or, do you know what I mean?
I bet he thinks the Flintstones is real.
I know.
That'd be brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was a caveman. I'd make a telly out of rock.
Yeah.
And a pelican and a
car that I
cement
just
mixer.
ran along the road with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a car.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really got the internal combustion engine. Can you stick your feet through the bottom? Yeah, just get me a car, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, so I learned that. And then,
What?
You learned his name.
Yeah.
Other people I learned the name of this week.
Oh, if a chimp could watch telly. Go on, Carl, go on.
And there was also a fella in the week who said that women shouldn't be wearing trousers
Why?
because they don't look good in them.
Right, who was this man and from what era
French fella.
Okay.
Last week.
Did he mean walk around naked?
He just said women should wear skirts rather than trousers because no woman looks good in a pair of pants.
Right. How old was he?
He was probably about 67.
Uh-huh.
About that, 67, 68.
Yeah.
Wasn't happy with that. What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
These are the only things that have caught your eye over the last couple of weeks. This is the entire news.
Galileo did something with light. A French fella said women shouldn't wear trousers. See, that to me wouldn't pass as education.
It's not education.
I don't know where you could ever use that. I don't know when that would ever be applicable to life.
I just like reading stuff that sort of reminds me of. Do you know what I mean? If I read it and it gets me thinking, I think that's a good little piece.
But I mean, but surely can't you just sort of like sit near something that vibrates to keep your brain going, or shake your head every now and again? I mean, what does this do? You mean it makes you start using your brain?
But what aspect of a Frenchman said women shouldn't wear trousers got your mind working? What questions were you asking?
Because I thought that's a bit daft, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it ends there with me. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for me to go on that.
He closes
your mind's still whirring.
Yeah, go on. What do you think? Let's go through this. Oh, I wish we could download his thoughts.
I know.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great, like a DVD? And
like a cartoon.
Imagine that extra footage on the Office DVD.
Yeah, Carl's brain.
That would be amazing. Oh, with the commentary. Go on.
Women wearing trousers and that, right? On the estate that I grew up in, on right? There was a woman about 4 houses down, right? Rough. She's the one who...
She was, or the estate?
She was, right?
Yeah.
She's the one whose kid took a horse into her house.
Yes.
Right.
Now, we won't go over that again.
No.
If you're a new listener, I think we covered... I think they get
That's
the
all you
idea
need to know.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, she used to wear leggings.
Yeah.
Now, they're a bad idea.
They are a terrible idea. I agree with you there, Carl. If you're a lady of
What
the
colour?
normo persuasion...
Were they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What, toast and just horse droppings? Yeah, go on, yeah.
And she used to, she's quite a big woman.
Sure.
Pauline Quirk, I think
Yeah,
described her as.
Look like a light bulb, which
It is those kind of women that are attracted to leggings.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They are drawn to them like a moth.
Yeah.
She used to wear them, and that's what I remember when I read this piece. And she used to work on one of those sex line things.
Right.
She used to do that. But
what was she, an engineer?
The weird thing with her was, she had big eyelids.
Right. Go on.
That were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she had big eyelids?
It was another one of them popular things around our way. Do you know, like...
What do you mean popular things? They go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all the rage. Can I get some big eyelids, please?
No, it was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's one of them popular things round where I grew up. People had big eyelids, they could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean? What sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads, you got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
Yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Just too much skin. It was like the neck of a chicken. But on the eyes.
What's your point? Anyway, so there's this big eyelided woman with the leggings.
And that's what I'm saying to you there. That's when I read that story with people with trousers.
Yeah.
I went from that.
Yeah.
To a woman who used to have big eyelids. I still on the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Right.
His dad had it. Same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I used to say to my mum, I'm going round to, Dave's house.
Yeah.
And,
or Drew
say,
Pig,
well,
as you call him.
that's alright, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car. Because he could hardly... he could hardly see. He had to have his head...
He had to tilt his head back to keep his eyelids open.
Sure! Did he have a couple of matches with him at all times?
What a load of gobbledygook. This began as educating Ricky.
I know, it's like people with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well.
Yeah.
If I mentioned the trousers, Ricky will probably be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Carl.
Got nonsense.
Adverts.
No. Alright. Same thing happened when I was at school and I had to play drums in Little Donkey. I didn't tell my parents, right? But my dad turned up anyway. And what happened?
He,
How old were you, Carl?
well, it was the school that I used to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
so
You went, well, you used to go to the school you used to go to?
No, but what I mean
Go
is,
on.
I didn't go to secondary, did I? So I missed a lot of that.
Sure.
But primary, I liked.
Oh,
it was
okay.
all colouring in and stuff.
Yep.
And it was a Christmas play, and I managed to get a part in it. And
Did you audition?
got a part in it, and I should have been playing the drums to the one about Kings.
We Three Kings.
Yeah. I was meant to be doing that, but Little Donkey came on, and it was one of those.
What do you mean came on?
That was like next up on the next song.
Right.
And it's one of them songs that you can't help sort of
Tapping along to.
yeah. Do you know, like if I was to go,
Yeah, you'd have to finish it with...
yeah. Do you know that they actually send that into space?
Do they?
And
What, hoping that aliens will respond with that?
yeah, they do that because apparently it is one of them things that you can't help.
What, even if you're an alien life form?
Yeah.
They know that, do they?
Yeah. But anyway,
What, because they watch Star Trek or something?
Hello. Knock, knock.
Yeah.
no, seriously.
Is it true, like, if they send out knock knock into space, yeah, they have to say that?
Oggy, oggy, oggy. Oh,
Do you
that
actually do
is
this?
that
Do
is
you listen to
great.
it? Seriously.
Oh, hold on, what's something out there? Was it a little green fella? That is great.
Yeah. So anyway,
That is
Little Donkey is like one of them tunes that you can't. And I was there, and I had the drumstick, and I thought, oh god,
The drumstick.
I could feel myself. And anyway,
Just wanting to do it, yeah.
I started going along and playing Little Donkey, which I wasn't meant to do, but it went down such a storm.
What, were there people like parents and that dozing off, and then suddenly they heard your version of Little Donkey, they thought, wait a minute, now it's really picking up.
What do you mean?
I'm glad we paid £1.50 for this.
What do you mean it went down such a storm? They're going, hold on, was it like when
People have
Ringo...
lighters in the air.
It was like when Ringo joined the Beatles, now
Yeah.
going, boo, Pete Best, but he went...
Yeah, they
And they
went,
went,
whoa!
whoa! Oh,
No,
God.
but the teacher just said, oh, it went down really well, you can do that again tonight,
Right.
when you're in it again. But anyway, so my dad was there, and...
And you hadn't told him about this performance,
no,
so
I
he
never
just
did.
turned up
I
off
never
his own
did.
back.
I never took the letters home and stuff to,
No.
you know, show my mum and dad, because it just put me off. So, anyway, he turned up, don't know why, he must have heard from someone else's dad.
Yeah.
He turned up, and, he swore about me, which...
Did he?
I don't...
Could you
what-
use
Do you think
a word
it's allowed
that's...
to be said? The word?
Of course it is.
Right. If you got a kid in the car or anything, you can turn it down now.
Yeah.
Right. But he said, there was a guy stood next to him with a camera, big video camera, filming it, and he said, "Yeah, film it, but try and avoid getting the twat in the hat in the shot, because I had one of those porters, you know, the little round pork pie hats on.
Right.
This is so sad.
What, was this a nativity play?
It was about Jesus and stuff.
Yeah, well, there was a porter there helping with his bags.
Yes, it was, I forgot.
I
yeah.
mean, Mary and
What,
Joseph,
managing the
they got
stable?
there. Yeah, because it was the hope, you know, because the inn was full.
Yes.
But I think the porter doubled up with the inn and the stable.
Right, that was nice.
So
of
he,
him.
yeah,
He'd
yeah,
carry bags over, yeah.
yeah. No, so yeah.
You're right though. I don't know why I was wearing one of them, but I was. And
And your father said that, and how did you know your father said that? Did you
he told
hear
me
it?
about it later.
Oh, he told you about it later?
Yeah, I was talking about stuff I'd done at school, and he said, "Oh God, remember that?" And I spoke to him the other day about it,
Right.
and yeah,
Oh,
it's a
God.
shame.
So that was the end of your sort of drumming career, really? Because it could have been, I mean, you know, the audience loved it the night before.
Yeah.
You could have, like, been, who knows, a whole new world for you.
Yeah.
Have
that
you
is-
done any stuff?
I've never drummed. I wish I had, man. I wish
But
I had.
that is
That's a movie story, but
is that, and that's why you don't, and you don't tell, your mum and dad don't know you on the radio, do
they
they?
think when they were down the other weekend, they had to come in. I just said, "Oh, I'll just go in and press the buttons."
Because they could listen on Sky Digital, couldn't they?
They could do.
But you wouldn't want that, would you?
I don't want that.
No. Play
Carl-
a record, and I want to talk to you again a little bit about this later.
yeah.
I'd say this maybe we should bring back White Van Carl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah?
We could pull that out of the bag if you.
Shall we do that?
Just get Carl's take on the world's.
Let's do it,
views.
let's do it.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that in a second. Let's have another educating Rick. Listen, we haven't done it for a while. White Van Man. I thought
Yeah,
there's some
it's
interesting
back,
questions
it's back.
raised today, and I
Yeah.
think it might be nice to just throw them Carl's
I think we
direction.
set Carl up again in the last hour as a person that people want to know
Yeah, they want to
his
know what he's
opinions
thinking.
on the
They wanna
world,
know what-
yeah.
Well, if you're not familiar with it, on Saturdays, the Sun newspaper asks a typical white van driver questions his opinions on the week's news, and we thought we'd throw these in the direction of Carl.
Yeah.
And then what do you make of this teenage thug, Carl, Mickey Carroll, who spent 4 months in jail and he's won 9.7 million on the lottery? Is that justice? When you think of all the good people that are going hungry? And there's a lad there and he's won.
Did he buy the ticket before he
9.7.
went in?
No, I think he bought it once he'd come out.
So he's done his time.
He's done his time.
Fair enough then, he's been punished.
Yeah.
Right? He's bought a ticket. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's having a bit of good luck.
Good luck to him.
Next one.
Are you concerned that now he's got all that money, he could turn into like a sort of mastermind villain? You know, like a James Bond style villain? He's got a criminal streak, we know that. Is that a concern for you? I mean,
we
imagine
don't.
that he could build some
we
kind of
don't-
underwater
We
fortress.
don't, with my lawyer's hat on, we don't know that.
Yeah, well.
God.
Well, he'd have to prove that he didn't have a criminal streak. I'd say you've been in jail for 4 months.
Yeah, well, sometimes people are bad because they haven't got any money, so he might be an angel of gold now.
Yeah. 1 in 5 children aged between 11 and 16 go on booze binge sessions at least once a week. That's terrifying news, isn't it?
Kids, they know too much now.
Yeah.
Compared to you,
despair. I know, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this one, right?
Go on.
My dad had me niece in the car, right, running her to school one day, and she was in the back of the car with a mate, and they chatting away about stuff like kids do. And he got onto the topic of one of the mates, who he said, I mean, you've got to remember, my niece, this point, was probably about 5 or 6, something like that, right? In the back of the car, talking about My Little Pony, whatever it is they play with. Subject changed. Oh, that Lisa in our class, she's a lesbian, isn't she?
Right.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Chatting away about it.
Just openly talking about lesbianism.
And probably, you know, this is the topic that they're talking about in the pub when they're having one. Out drinking.
Yeah, but they might have thought a lesbian was a funny word or something. You don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, do they?
He's weird though, isn't it? Because when I was younger at school, you didn't you swore a little bit, but it wasn't like major swear words, and you sort of did a little bit of nicking, but nothing like they get up to now. I mean,
my girlfriend, when she was about 7 or 8, just walking to school with her mum, and she called her a C-U-N. Right?
You are joking.
No, she said, because she thought it was she said she thought it was a big furry animal. So she was being nice, and I remember, where'd you do that? Where'd you do that? Like, just heard it at school. So they might not know what it means.
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna have to use kind of euphemisms here to tell this story, but when I was at school, I learned, the stronger version, it's not the same word, but it's very similar with one letter changed. I'm gonna use twit.
Yeah.
You know the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use the word twit to replace it, right? And I went round...
Do you think they're twat?
Yeah. Alright. That's what I'm thinking of. And, so can I say it? Am I allowed to say it?
No, it's weird though, because some people from Cornwall use that like saying twit. So, if people listen in Cornwall...
Do you know what a twit is? A pregnant goldfish.
Well,
I learned the stronger version of twit.
Yeah.
Twat. For those that aren't sure. I learned this in school when I was like 10 or whatever, and I didn't know what it meant. I thought it was just a stronger version of twit. Yeah. I thought it was just if you were really annoyed with someone because they were a real twit.
Because I is worse than I.
Exactly, apparently. So, Carl would be a twit. And so I started using this at home because I didn't realise what it meant. I started using this at home. Oh, you twit, you're a twit. And saying it to my dad, you're a twit, but not saying twit. Yeah. And my dad didn't know what it meant either.
That's great!
I couldn't believe. So he started using it as well, right? So then we'd be driving in the car, he'd be saying to my mum, you stupid, say to my mum, you don't, pull over, you're gonna bum it, you twat. Saying this, then I learned at school from Mark Johnson what it really meant.
Yeah.
Stopped using it, obviously finding out it was quite an offensive word.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up to my dad. I didn't want to sit my dad down and say, Dad, you know that word we've been saying? Yeah. You know what it means? So now, to this day, I never brought it out with him. So we'll be driving, I go home for Christmas, we'll be driving around, he'll be calling my mum that word. Left, right and centre. I think she knows. I think she's just embarrassed. Or she's just upset and she knows what it means. She goes, why does he keep calling me this terrible word? But he's the only one, I think, in our family who doesn't know what it means. No one's got the guts to say. I don't know whether I should tell him this Christmas.
Oh, what a twat.
I know.
Busters. It's a structured show. It's a new leaf. This show in the new year is going to be structured. Set pieces, hitting our marks. Do you know what I mean? There'll be time checks, weather checks, quick hold out. If you're driving, careful on that. So do the prizes.
Check for traffic, if it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, an arbitrary selection of goodies.
What are those politicians doing?
Was that XFM News?
Yeah. Right, what have we got?
So we've got, for those that are a fan of the movie Donnie Darko, which a lot of people rave about this year, a sort of weird teenage movie, then there's a sort of sweatshirt there.
It is actually quite nice.
It's not bad at all. It's medium, so if you're a bit of a bloater, don't bother to apply unless you've got a friend already. We've also got here a Graham Norton video. Certificate 18. So please don't phone up unless, don't email in unless you're above the age of 18.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the best of his TV show.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
It's a big stiff video, that, isn't it? It's a big stiff cock of a video.
Thanks very much.
I meant
you meant the bird.
Yeah.
There's also a fairly mediocre British wartime thriller, Enigma, which a lot of people, it was hyped for a while, but it's actually interminable. I've seen it. The first series here of The Kumars at number 42 on DVD. I think that's award-winning, so that's available as well. We've got 2 CDs by the look of it. We've got Pulp's Greatest Hits, which I don't think sold very well, and so presumably they are giving that away. And Johnny Cash's current album, American For the Man Comes Around, there's some good cover versions there.
Again, another big sell. A big sell. We're really pushing this.
But it's quite kooky. Johnny Cash here does covers of things including Personal Jesus.
Oh, right.
By Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
We've got Bridge Over Troubled Water, his version of that, Desperado. And anyway, it's not bad. That's probably the best treat in that bunch. And,
right.
I'm assuming there's some questions there, Carl.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
If you're a new listener, the way it works, I'll give you a cryptic clue and some initials, and it sort of makes up a band. Yeah. Makes more sense when you hear it, I reckon.
Not really. Although people do get it. I just worry about the state of our listeners. Go on.
Right, so there's 3 of them. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
It's email only. I repeat, it is email only.
We are too lazy to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go then. Number 1. There's normally 2 easy ones and a difficult one.
Sure.
So here we go. Number 1. Don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind.
Don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind.
Yeah, that's AA.
AA.
That's, yeah. So that's the first one.
He's not going to change his mind. What do you mean, you've just got them written out, haven't you?
I'm just thinking about what the answer is, so I didn't write the answer down.
Don't worry, they get it. Yeah, don't worry.
Well, you can't remember it? You came up with it, there's only 3.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
No, it's not weird, it's incompetent.
Right, the second one, anyway, I hope you get this.
I hope you get this. Email in and tell us the answer.
This is a shambles, isn't it?
Hang on a minute.
Keep going.
Go on.
He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. P.
And you don't know
You don't know that is?
I'm sure it'll come to me once I see it on email.
What do you mean? Once they get it, you'll agree with them?
I'll know if it's the one I had down as the answer.
This is brilliant. Imagine Jeremy Paxman doing that going...
Yeah, University Challenge.
Is that right? Go on.
Right, so that's that one.
Give us that one again.
He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. P.
But you're confused. I don't understand how you can be confused.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the final one?
The third one, I'll have to put that woman in the oven. And that's AB.
Alright, quickly give us them again.
Right, so the first one, don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind. That's AA. He always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That's P. And I'll have to put that woman in the oven. AB.
Alright. So the answers to this week's Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us the clues again and the answers?
Yeah. The first one was don't argue with him, he ain't going to change his mind. The initials there were AA. That's Adamant.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's good.
That's a good one. Second one, he always gets what he wants and doesn't worry about anyone else. That was P. That was Pixies.
Picks his, it kind of works, yeah.
And the third one,
I'll let you have that one.
I'll have to put that woman in an oven. That was AB. That was Anita Baker.
Anita Baker.
It's good.
Anita Baker.
Anita
Yeah,
Baker.
I'll let you have all 3 today. Hives, Main Offender. Before that, Embrace, Make It Last. I know you don't like Embrace much, but that's a nice tune.
Yeah.
They do cut a nice little chorus.
Sure.
And I think their heart's in the right place.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. What could you do better? I was mucking around.
That's always fair.
No, I was thinking there's not enough avant-garde stuff. I just did this, right? There's a little spring on the mic. What does that sound like? Does that sound good? I haven't got my headphones on. Does that sound good?
It sounds brilliant.
I was thinking of doing that and just send it to John Peel.
It's good.
Maybe with some samples of like politicians going, "We will not."
I feel it's more a B-side at the moment, but I mean it's strong. I think it's you could work that out.
But that's without strings or anything. Without
sure, that's without I mean that's just kind of a basic demo. When you've worked that out with a decent producer.
Yeah.
Man alive.
Still coming. We got Radiohead. We've
What
got
are these fellas doing?
There's a couple
It's
of
quite noisy. It's just distracting.
Yeah. There's a couple of fellas behind us taking pictures. I don't know why it takes 2 of them. I think one of them just got a couple of hours out of the office.
Yeah.
They're from the what are you from? X-Mag.
X-ray.
X-Ray.
What's X-ray?
It's the XFM magazine, Steve.
The XFM what? Magazine.
And where does that go?
Where
then?
is this available in shops?
Is it just a giveaway thing?
It's kind of giveaway, bit of information on bands.
Right.
Gigs are coming up.
How is it available?
Who gets it?
It's in top magazines.
You're really selling it, Carl. You're obviously a fan of the magazine.
It's alright.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it... This seems now like you've said, let's pretend we don't know what it is. You sell it on air, make it sound...
I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll show you later.
Okay, cool.
And if people want a copy of it, they can go to the website and subscribe and you get it for free.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're going to be in it.
And we're going to be in it.
Centre pages.
I don't look my best. I don't dress for radio. And, you know...
Well, it's okay, because I'm photogenic, so I'll make up for whatever you,
I'll push you forward.
Rick, I don't know if you were aware of this, but we have some tickets to give away. Is your favourite band Marquis Smith's The Fall?
It is, yeah.
I thought it was. And is your favourite venue the Kentish Town Forum?
Oh, I'd see anything there. I'd see The Fall anywhere, and I'd see anything there. So if you're telling me The Fall are there, we're not giving away, Steve. I'd like those for myself.
Rick, I'm just trying to remember if your favourite support act of late is Schindler.
Oh, no, I hate them. I'm not going. Give them away.
Okay, so the doors are at 7:30. Doesn't say when it is.
I'm only joking, Schindler. I'm only joking, by the way. To Schindler, the lads in Schindler, if they think I'm being a little bit nasty.
It's tonight, it's at 7:30, the tickets are £11.50 in advance. I'm assuming there's probably some still left, but we have some to give away. How many have we got to give away? Just
3 pairs.
3 pairs, is it? Have you, talking of Schindler, you know the people that make lifts? Or I think escalators as well.
Oh, yeah.
If you notice, like in the bottom of a lift, it always says Schindler. It's always made by some organisation called Schindler. Do you think it's the same Schindler? Like from Schindler's List?
So it's Schindler's Lifts.
Schindler's Lifts.
And it was passed down wrong. No, I didn't make a list.
Yeah.
I made lifts.
Yeah,
You're joking. Spielberg was going, I've made a whole film about it.
It was 3 hours, it was in black and white, for God's sake.
Was it, where'd you get the lift? There was no lifts in it. I thought it was a list you made. No, I made lifts. Oh.
Anyway, next time we're in the lift, check that out, that is true. Anyway, we've got 3 tickets for the Fall, 3 pairs of tickets for the Fall who are performing tonight at Kentish Town Forum. If you'd like to win them, here's a question for you. Which Radio 1, rival station, which Radio 1 personality used to be a member of the Fall? If you know, then you can get in touch on 08700 800 1234. Or it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Is it Chris Miles?
I don't want to give it away.
Is it John Peel?
I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
But 2 words for you. Emma B.
What have you got now?
Right, so we're looking into animals that we get rid of. I've spoken to someone about snails, I spoke to someone about jellyfish, and that, and looking at cockroaches today.
Right, now who's the expert?
It's a woman called Jessica Marshall.
Right.
Does she know that you're going to play this on the radio?
Well, I called up, right, in the week and said, can I talk to someone about cockroaches? And she was like, is that Carl?
She knows who you are.
Yeah.
Right, so she already knows maybe your angle, your approach.
Yeah, she was up for it.
She's an expert, she's just not just some random person.
No, she works in a museum, a good museum. I said I'd give it a plug. It's the one near Knightsbridge. It's got dinosaurs and that in it. It's worth seeing.
On the Natural History Museum?
Yeah. So,
Not sure. He's not sure.
This is what happened. Now, what I'll do, I'll tell you as much as I know, and then you can fill me in if I'm right or wrong. And then at the end of it, we'll get to the bottom of whether we need them or not.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, the first thing that I found out is that they have 18 knees.
That's not exactly possible. They're insects, so they have 6 legs.
Yeah.
And a knee is usually the junction between femur and tibia. That's sort of classic human knee, and every other animal knee. So with 6 legs, you can only have 6 knees.
Could somebody sort of got mistaken for seeing one that was a bit double jointed?
I think you're grasping at straws or something.
All right. Well, we might have to come back to that one then.
Okay.
They can hold the breath for 40 minutes.
Well, they don't do that because they don't breathe in the same way as us. They breathe through little spiracles holes down the side of the body, so no, they're not a very apt simile because the method of breathing is so different.
What do you mean?
Because insects have a totally different system. They don't have lungs in the way that we do, just breathing through one part of the body. They're actually breathing through every segment of the body all of the time.
So even though they've got their mouth shut, they might be able to slide.
Nothing to do with breathing.
So
only
just
feeding.
So you see, maybe that's where someone's gone wrong. Someone's got hold of one and sort of taped its mouth up or something, and got bored after 40 minutes and said, "Well, we'll call it right."
It's a pretty unkind thing to do to an insect, even to a cockroach.
Yeah, but it's all.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but.
No. Pretty unkind thing to do anything, even a cockroach.
Something else I found out.
Yeah.
They can live for a week without an head.
Well, that's true if they don't bleed to death in the process.
But the weird thing is, when I told you that they had 18 knees, you seemed a bit sort of like, don't talk ridiculous. But then we're talking about an animal that can live without an head. So there's a little bit of truth in that one, yeah?
Yes.
Why, when it was invented, has it got that facility? Say if someone said to humans, we could do that with humans, and, you know, if you lose your head in some accident, it gives you a bit of time to sort of go back to your family and maybe write them a note. You won't be able to have a chat, but write them a note saying it was my own fault and it was nice knowing you.
Well, that would be a useful facility, I agree, but cockroaches are great survivors. I mean, they've been around for over 300 million years. They're one of the most primitive insects.
Alright. Well, I've also, is it true that they do a lot of resting? Apparently they can sort of rest for 75% of the time.
Rest?
Yeah, they just sit about doing nothing.
It's probably true of a vast proportion of the world's fauna. Well,
I mean, maybe the 25% that they are working, they're really giving it some, so it might make up.
They're probably searching out food, and yeah, they can slow down considerably. You can chill insects in the fridge and they'll become very, very quiet. You might think they're dead.
Yeah, but I'm sure, you know, if we were sat in a fridge, you know, we'd go a bit quiet, wouldn't we? You know.
Well, you might not know much about it, of course.
Yeah, but...
Not quite reading the right sources.
Well, I've been using the internet.
I'm sure there are many useful sources that you could find there, but some of those seem to have been a little misleading to you.
So you don't agree with a lot of what I've told you there?
No.
So, cockroaches, can we get rid of them?
No.
So we're keeping them then?
I would say so, yeah.
I think we should get her on more often because she sounds like she'd be a bit of an ally, really. Because she knew immediately that you were talking nonsense. She even said, I think you should be more concerned about your sources, which I've been trying to tell you for a year, right? The fact, I mean 18 knees, where did you get that from?
It's on the internet.
They can hold their breath for 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know what you read and take on.
Mad world, don't it?